Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. I'm a bit late today doing a video as I had things to do this morning. And before I start, that's the new stretch Bentley Bentayga. If I had that kind of money, I wouldn't buy one as I think that front is a bit ugly. And if I was going to buy a car in that calibre, I'd probably go for a Cullinan. Anyway, as you all know, the dating game in America is quite slanted towards women, with men have always been encouraged to catch up, but things are not as they seem at first glance. As looking around, I found this. As you can see, it's a site called Best Places, and the article is going solo in the USA. There's things that just cut my mind reading through it, namely this. 51% of US women now live without a spouse. That's just over half of American women are single. And if you drop down in this bit, it says, here we go, in the 379 metro areas nationwide in America, 34% of women aged 25 to 64 are single. No doubt they're all riding the cock carousel, but all these TikTok videos of these undateable women, they're all falling into that category. Now, with single guys, nationally in America, 32% of guys in America are single. So that's a 2% difference. Hence the constant cry from American women, where have all the good men gone? So where are all these single women? If you drop down, it says top 10 solo cities. Number 1 being San Francisco. Well, that has a large proportion of homosexuals, so that's understandable. And Detroit, that has a large proportion of African Americans and gangbangers and high crime. Then New York City, that has a large proportion of feminists. Boston, I don't know about them. New Orleans, that's could be French Americans. Los Angeles, a large proportion of feminists. Fort Lauderdale, that's a large student place. Las Vegas, well, that doesn't really count because Americans just go there to have some fun. Miami, that's probably just seniors and drug dealers. And Albuquerque in New Mexico, that's full of New Mexicans. Anyway, the least single cities are these, and then about the gender gap, in gender imbalanced cities. Now, all these cities here, as you can see, it's all between 15% and 28% more women in them than guys. Now, the question to my mind is, what degree is third wave feminism in all these cities, where women think guys are not worth the trouble, and guys are all turning MGTOW, and thus there's 28% to 15% more women than guys in these cities. Inequalities, the gender gap is a common and perfect balance. These slightly more men, Warren, Minnesota, Minneapolis, New Mexico, MN, don't know what that one is. There's slightly more women, and then so on and so forth. And Santa Ana, California, 2.5% more men. Now, that's people going solo. There's more women than America than guys that are single. But American women reveals a big problem with single men in 2022 is American guys apparently are device dependent. In other words, the guys are relying more on dating apps to find women than women are, which is total bollocks, because we all know that women use mobile phones more than guys, and they're more addicted to social media and dating apps than guys are. This is an article about a woman who's done away with it and she decides to go out dating solo. There's one or two little things that's caught my eye. Namely, if I can find it. This is just the adventures what she had in various nightclubs. Where is it now? Only a minority of people believe online apps have made dating more enjoyable. 32% of men surveyed agree with the premise, and 90% of women surveyed agreed with the premise. Guys are probably seeing what women are like and just doing it for entertainment, while women could be doing it for find a partner, because there's more women in America that are single than guys. It says, contrary to what many people believe, however, a lot of single people would love to be engaged with on a night out, as long as it is a respectful way. Maybe, but how many guys going up for a night out just want to go out for a drink? This arguably is the big problem with single men and single people in general, not just men. In 2022, they become too device dependent. If this sounds like you, perhaps solo adventures are a good way to solve it. In other words, you just go to a bar for a quiet drink, and if a woman starts chatting you up, you just take it on the fly and see where it leads to. You don't try to talk her back to your place, you just see what happens. Whether or not you agree, it seems Angelica is intent on having a crack telling followers, I want to go to more than just bars, and resolves to do one intentional solo adventure a week. In other words, she's just going out to see how things go. She also says it's not necessarily beneficial only for single people. I don't think that it's a relationship status specific experience really. And it says it's a journey of self-love and independence, because even when you do get in a relationship, it's so important to do things for yourself. In other words, don't depend on devices, OkCupid and all the rest. Now these are dating advice articles that are linked to this one. Dating trends. I have no idea what that is. Let's see what that one comes up with. Pedestrianing, the dating trend you need to watch out for in 2021. Get rid of that. Put it on a pedestal, in other words. And get rid of that. Anyway, you can have a read through them yourself. And just dating around the world, depending where you are watching this video. I just clicked on the New York one because it's America. And this Australian lady called Monica Clark, who's a model, refreshing New York dating advice. In other words, a woman giving dating advice to a guy. Ha ha. And then she gives it. I just had a quick flick through this, and it's nothing much to comment about. Anyway, it all boils down to there's 51% of US women in America that's without a guy. They're all complaining about where have all the good men gone, but the question is, has MGTOW had an effect on that? Is MGTOW the reason 51% of US women now live without a spouse? And across the metropolitan areas where MGTOWs predominantly are based, 34% of women aged 25 to 64 are single. It means the wall is in that group, and they're coming to the conclusion that they're not going to get a spouse at all, and they're going to run into the wall, whereas 32% of men in America are single. Could that be 32% of American men are MGTOWs? You tell me. I think we're on the 10-minute mark. Sorry it's a bit iffy, but I didn't have much time to find anything for this video, but I'll try and get something a bit more meaningful next week. As for now, you know the routine: like, dislike, comment, subscribe. It's completely up to you. So until next week, that's it. I'll get rid of that. But this is interesting. Okay, bye bye.